Fester's Quest NES, and this is the PAL version. We've got the easier version than the USA version because you can shoot through walls in this version, which you can't in the NTSC version. Now about the game, this game gets negative reviews because it just does, because a lot just don't like the game. I mean, it's quite hard, but I beat quite a few times now. I think it's based on the 60s Adams Family TV show because the picture seems to be from that. The TV theme from the 1960s is based on that. Like a lot of other Adams Family games are based on the movies or the animated series, I think this is based on the 1960s TV show, which was amazing. Now about this game, it's for difficulty, I'd say it's just right tough, but a lot of people think it's really hard because they're playing the NTSC version and they've not got this version, which is quite a bit easier. I'll do a review later on in the year when I play the NTSC version of this game and tell you the differences, but this PAL version, it's still hard. I mean, first thing you've got to do in this game is just keep walking. Where you start, just keep moving left and right to upgrade your gun to it and then go. I mean, the point of the game is to go through sewers till you've kind of a maze a bit, but the point is to go through sewers and go in random houses and get random items off family members, like vice script to get you back to normal speed, potions to help you in fights, missiles, which is very important for the final fight, and it's very important for the third and fourth bosses because they have a shield to protect them. And you get money to buy hot dogs. And the first two bosses are not really hard. The third boss isn't that hard as long as you use your missiles. But the fourth boss, I will admit, is hard. I mean, the fourth boss, a lot of people struggle with the fourth boss. The fourth boss is hard. I mean, it takes a lot of missiles, even in this version, which is easier. And the same goes for the final boss, but there's a trick in the final boss where if you stand in a specific spot, the things it's firing at you won't be able to hit you, and you can keep hitting him, and then you can throw missiles, and that should be enough to kill him. So yeah, you get random items, like I've said. The part of the game, it's just you just move, you just keep going the same thing. I mean, you just keep going places, going in houses, talking to family members, and then you keep going down sewers, and you need a bulb, and you need keys to get in houses, and a few of the houses, it can be mazy, but you should be able to find the boss. But there is one thing that I feel they put a few of the bosses in the wrong order. Like the first two bosses in the right order, but the third and fourth boss I feel are harder than the fifth boss before the final. There's 5 bosses before the final boss. The first two in the right order, then I feel the fifth boss should be the third behind them, because I feel the third boss that's in the game and the fourth after her should be after the fifth boss because they're harder than him. Because the fifth boss is like the first two, he doesn't have a weapon and it seems to go down so easily, where 3 and 4 take longer. So I feel they should be like boss 4 and boss 5, and the fifth boss before the final boss should be boss number 3. So yeah, I really like this game. That's the whole point of the game, really. You do the same things over and over again. You shoot the same enemies. You go in sewers. You just got to make sure you have bulbs. Be kind of mazy, but you should find the right place to go eventually within a few tries. And you just keep doing that throughout the game, really. Fighting bosses, going in houses, getting items. Like I said, potions, money. You get money for killing enemies, but you get potions from your finger, I think, gives them you, and invisible potions. And luckily, once you beat a boss, if you've used all the items, they come back again. Like I think you'll have 5 potions and 5 invisible potions. If you run out when you beat a boss, don't worry when you're outside the back of the house before you get moving again. I mean, it's back to full again, so you're back to 5 again, so you never run out. So yeah, what do I say about the game? I think this game is amazing. I don't get the stick for this game, I really don't. But I think these people who give it stick, they're going on about the NTSC version, which is harder than the PAL version we've got here. So we Brits have got the easier version, for sure. But it's the same game virtually, but it's just harder because you can shoot through walls in this version, like I've said already, which you can't in the NTSC version. I think that's the biggest flaw the NTSC version gets. So yeah, would I recommend this game? Yeah, certainly the PAL version anyway. I've yet to play the NTSC version. When I do, I'll make another review on the NTSC version when I played the NTSC version. I've never played that version, so I know it's the same gameplay. I've seen a long play, but I do want to play it and see, find out the differences. So yeah, this version at least, I would recommend. I think this version is amazing. The PAL version of Festus Quest. What do I think of the NTSC version? Well, only time will tell. I'll play that and then get back to you. I'll make another review when I play the NTSC version later down the line and tell you the differences. I know there's quite a few bosses are harder, final bosses are harder, more hits. You can't shoot through walls. And I'll see if there's anything else I can discuss about the differences out of the two. Okay, this is a great game. And you should play it. Certainly the PAL version anyway. And I'm sure you can find the PAL version online even if you're an American. So yeah, thanks for the time.